In the heart of Uvuru town, Mama Nkechi's food stall was a place of joy, laughter, and delicious meals. But one morning, something changed. Customers began falling sick. Whispers turned into accusation. Trust turned into fear. What really happened to the roadside stall everyone loved? This is a story of the poisoned truth. Watch till the end to find out the shocking truth. In the heart of Uvuru town, the market was the busiest place every morning. Bright colors covered the stalls: red tomatoes, green peppers, fresh fish, and bundles of yams. The air was full of smell of fresh spice, ripe fruits, and roasting meat. At the center of it all was Mama Nkechi's stall. It was small but always crowded. Her stall was painted a cheerful yellow, and her big red pot stood proudly on the fire. Smoke coiled up from the wood fire beneath, mixing with the laughter and chatter of the market. Mama Nkechi was a tall woman with warm brown eyes and a wide smile that made everyone feel like family. She wore a colorful wrapper and a hair tie, tied just right. Her hands moved quietly but carefully, stirring the food, serving plates, and greeting customers with a gentle voice. "Mama Nkechi, one plate of jollof rice, please," shouted a young man from the corner. "Coming right up," she answered, scooping steaming rice with perfect care. She knew almost everyone in the market by their name. She asked after their children, remembered birthdays, and shared small advice. If someone was sad, she gave an extra helping of food and kind words. One day, a tired woman came to her stall with 3 hungry children. Mama Nkechi noticed the woman's worn shoes and the children's torn clothes. Without asking, she served them a large meal, saying, "Eat well, my children. Tomorrow is a new day." The woman's eyes filled with tears, and she thanked Mama Nkechi quietly. Stories like this spread across the town. How Mama Nkechi cared not only about food, but about people's hearts. Her food was more than just tasty. It was a comfort, a gathering place where worries melted away and friendship grew. Even the local school teachers eat there during lunch break. They said her pepper soup could heal a tired body and soul. The market guard said that after a meal at Mama Nkechi's store, even the hardest day felt lighter. At night, after the market closed, Mama Nkechi would sit quietly by the fire, cleaning her pot and planning for the next day. Sometimes she would hum old songs from her childhood, thinking about how far she had come. Though everyone in Uvuru saw Mama Nkechi as a strong and cheerful woman, few knew the full story of her life. Many years ago, Nkechi was married to a man named Okafor. He was a mechanic, tall, quiet, and hardworking. They lived in a small 2-room house just behind the market with their only son, Ebuka. For a while, life was sweet. Okafor would fix bikes and cars while Nkechi prepared food to sell in front of their home. But one rainy evening, Okafor complained of a headache and went to lie down. He never woke up. The sickness came fast. The burial came faster. Mama Nkechi was left alone with a 6-year-old child and nothing but her big red pot. That pot began her strength. Every morning, she woke up before the sun, tied her wrapper, and walked to the market to start her fire. Ebuka, still small then, would follow her sleepily, carrying a little stool. He grew up beside that pot, doing homeworks between plates of jollof rice and helping count money at night. Now, Ebuka was older, a young man in secondary school. He was quiet like his father, but smart and respectful. He often said, "One day I will build you a real restaurant, Mama." Mama Nkechi always smiled at that. "If I have food and you, my son, I already have enough," she would say. But things not always easy. Food prices were rising. Some days the market was slow. Sometimes Mama Nkechi would buy ingredients on credit and promise to pay later. And her old cooking pot, her companion, through thick and thin, was beginning to wear out. It had a small crack at the bottom that she covered carefully with cloth whenever it leaked. Still, no one in Uvuru ever saw her complaining. She continued to cook with love, to serve with joy, and to lift the heart of many who came to her stall. Her food stall had become more than a business. It was a meeting place, a memory place, a comfort place. One afternoon, a man named Uncle Sam, who once lived in Uvuru but had traveled to Lagos, returned. He walked into the market and asked, "Is Mama Nkechi still here?" When he saw her, he shouted, "Ah, you are still young. Do you still cook that ogbono soup with the soft meat?" They laughed together like old friends. He ate until his belly stretched, and before he left, he gave her a large envelope and said, "Use this to fix your store." She refused at first, but he insisted. Such moments gave her strength. Mama Nkechi was not rich in money, but she was rich in love, respect, and blessings. The Uvuru market was more than just a place of business. It was a family, and Mama Nkechi was like the heart of it. Every morning, before the sun stretched its fingers across the roof, the market slowly came alive. First came the fish sellers, with baskets of wet, shiny tilapia and catfish. Then the vegetable woman arrived, placing green bunches of ugu and bitter leaf on the white tray. The meat man, Babatunde, set up his wooden table and began sharpening his knife, humming softly. And then came the smell that made the market truly wake up. Mama Nkechi's firewood smoke floated into the air, followed by the sweet scent of palm oil, onions, and pepper frying in the pot. The traders smiled and nodded to one another. "She has started," they would say. Mama Nkechi had opened her kitchen. By 8 a.m., a small crowd always gathered near her stall. Some waited quietly, others laughed and gossiped while the pot bubbled. The smell was their morning bell. Even the children hawking sachet water and groundnuts would stop by, hoping for a free spoonful of food. Mama Nkechi never turned anyone away. If you had money, you will eat. If you had no money too, you will eat. "God will bless me," she often said, wiping her hands on her wrapper. She had a soft spot for the market children. There was Zubi, the boy who sold handkerchief and sang loudly. There was Chioma, the shy girl with a sad eyes who carried her baby brother on her back. Mama Nkechi kept small coins in a tin box to give them when she could. And sometimes, when her pot was nearly empty, she scraped the bottom just to give the children a little something warm. "Mama Nkechi, you are too soft," Babatunde teased her once. "You should be selling, not feeding charity." But she just laughed. My pot is not only for profit, it's for purpose. That made Babatunde smile. Then your purpose must be very sweet, he said, licking the soup from his fingers. At home, things were simple. Mama Nkechi's house was quiet and small, but always clean. Her kitchen was made of wood and zinc, and her bed was low and firm. A small photo of Okafor, her late husband, hung on the wall beside a faded calendar. Her son Ebuka was now in senior secondary school too. He was serious with his books and always top of his class. Teachers loved him for his respect. His classmates sometimes teased him, saying, "Your mother's food is why you are smart." Ebuka would smile shyly. Food gives energy, Mama gives the rest. After school, he always stopped by the store to help. "Mama, let me wash the plates," he would say, rolling up his sleeves. "Go and rest, my son," she said. "You've read enough." But he insisted. He was her right hand. Sometimes, when the market was quiet, he sat by her and spoke of his dreams. "One day, I will go to the university. I want to study food science, Mama. I want to know what's inside the ink things we cook with." Mama Nkechi smiled proudly. "You will go. You will be great. You will build something bigger than this market." He looked at the pot and added, "But I will not forget this red pot. It gave us everything." In Uvuru, there were many good cooks, but none could match Mama Nkechi's magic. Some said it was her pepper blend. Others swore it was the way she stirred, slow, patient, loving. But those who truly knew her believed the real taste came from her heart. Every Friday, her store turned into a mini party. She made coconut rice with fresh fish, sweet plantain, and okra soup, thick enough to stretch across the tongue like silk. Music played from a small radio near her store, and people danced while waiting for food. "Madam, put extra fish for me today," one trader shouted. "If you want extra fish, then go and marry her," another replied. Her laughter burst out all round. Mama Nkechi would shake her head, laughing. "If I marry again, who will cook for you people?" People loved her not just because she fed them, but because she made them feel seen. She made the tired feel strong. She made the forgotten feel remembered. Even the stubborn ones respected her. There was a woman known as Madame Ego who sold lace fabrics and always argued with everyone. She once said, "I don't like anybody's food. Too salty, too dry, too oily." But one day, out of curiosity, she tasted a spoon of Mama Nkechi's porridge yam. She sat silently, then asked for a full plate. From that day, she became a regular. One calm Thursday afternoon, while Mama Nkechi was peeling onions, a man stood quietly at the edge of her store. He wore a cap low over his head and carried a small bag. He didn't speak. He just watched her, his eyes heavy with something old. Regret, maybe. "Mama, somebody is looking at you," Ebuka said. She turned slowly. The man stepped forward. "Nkechi," he said softly. She blinked. No one had called her by that voice in years. "Chuka," she said. The man nodded. Chuka was her childhood friend, long before Okafor, before the market, before the red pot. They had been close. He had left for the city, chasing dreams that never came true. People said he had gotten into trouble, joined the wrong crowd. Now he stood before her, lean and tired, the sharpness in his face melted by life. "I came home," he said. "I heard you're feeding the whole town." She didn't speak for a while. Then she pulled up a plastic chair. "Sit down," she said. "Have you eaten?" He shook his head. "Then we'll talk after you eat." He sat slowly, like someone who had not eaten proper food in days. When he finished eating, he smiled for the first time. "I never forgot your cooking," he said. She laughed gently. "Maybe that's what brought you back." Chuka became a quiet presence at the store. He helped carry firewood, fetch water, and sometimes ran small errands. People didn't know much about him, but Mama Nkechi treated him kindly. When others gossiped, she simply said, "We all have a past, but not all of us get a second chance." It was a quiet Saturday afternoon. The market was slower than usual, and the sun sat lazily in the sky. At Mama Nkechi's stall, only a few plates of rice remained. She was resting on a low stool, fanning herself with a piece of cardboard. Ebuka ran into the market, holding a white envelope high in air, his eyes wide with joy. "Mama, Mama," he called. She stood up quietly, her heart beating fast. "What is it? Are you okay?" He ran to her and dropped to his knees, laughing. "Mama, I got it. I got in." She took the envelope with shaking hands. It had the bold red stamp of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Her eyes scanned the words. "Dear Ebuka Okafor, we are pleased to inform you." She paused as tears welled up in her eyes. She dropped the letter and pulled him into a tight hug. "Thank you. God, thank you. My son, you've made it. You are going to the university." People around the store clapped and shouted, "Ah, the son of the market queen is going to Nsukka. Bring food, let's celebrate." Mama Nkechi brought out the remaining food and gave it all away. That evening, there was no selling, only dancing, storytelling, and joy. She didn't mind the loss. Her son's success was worth more than that money. In the days that followed, Mama Nkechi worked harder than ever. She cooked extra food, sold more, and accepted every catering request, naming ceremony, wedding, church events. All the money she made, she saved in a blue tin box under her bed. She sold one of her wrappers, then another. She even sold the old radio she kept for music at the store. "My son must go to school like a king," she said. Ebuka noticed. "Mama, don't suffer yourself. I can manage." She shook her head firmly. "I didn't carry you on my belly for 9 months to watch you manage. Go to school with your head high. Make me proud." Chuka also helped. He brought some money he had saved from odd jobs and gave it quietly to Mama Nkechi. She hesitated but accepted with a nod. "You were kind to me when I had nothing," he said. "Let me help now." When the time came, they brought a mattress, 2 buckets, clothes, books, and a small gas stove. Mama Nkechi packed everything herself, wiping each item clean as if she were picking pieces of her heart. On the morning of his departure, she cooked his favorite, yam and egg sauce. They ate in silence. Then she walked him into the bus stop, holding his hand like she used to when he was small. "Study well," she said. brushing off dust from his shirt. Don't forget who you are. I won't, Mama. Pray every morning. I will, Mama. Don't let any girl turn your head. Ebuka laughed. Mama. They hugged tightly. The bus started. He waved through the window until she disappeared from view. Mama Nkechi stood there long after the bus had left, staring into the distance, her heart full of pride and pain. I'm alone again, she whispered, but it's a good kind of alone. After Ebuka left, the store felt emptier. There was no more laughter beside the pot, no quiet voice saying, Mama, let me wash the plates, or Mama, you are forgetting your apron again. Mama Nkechi tried to hide the loneliness, but Chuka saw it. He began arriving earlier to help her. He fetched water from the borehole, cleaned the wooden bench, and even learned how to slice onions without crying. Sometimes they talked about the past, about the days when they were young and wild, running near the river chasing goats and dreams. I never thought I would return here like this, Chuka said one day, peeling yam. But you came back, she replied. That means God still wants something from you. He looked at her quietly. She didn't answer. She just stirred her pot slowly, the smoke rising between them like unspoken memory. Over time, the customers grew fond of Chuka too. Ah, Mama Nkechi, this your assistant is strong, oh, one woman joked. Are you sure he's not your husband in disguise? She laughed, waving the idea away. He's just helping, she said. But inside, she sometimes wondered, could someone who once disappeared still be trusted? It began with a whisper. One evening, a regular customer came by for his usual eba and oha soup. He ate quietly, then frowned. Mama Nkechi, this soup tastes odd today. Maybe too bitter. She blinked. Bitter? No, nah. It's the same way I have always cooked it. He frowned. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's my tongue. The next day, another woman, Ngozi, said her jollof rice was too sour. Are you sure the tomatoes were fresh? She asked. Mama Nkechi was confused. She tasted it herself. It seemed fine. But just to be sure, she threw the whole pot away and started again. I can't take chances, she said to Chuka. This food is my name. Still, a seed of worry had been planted. It was a hot Wednesday afternoon when it truly began. Two young boys, Kelechi and Somto, who often helped Mama Nkechi carry firewood, came running to her store after school. They were hungry as usual. Mama, we want rice and stew, Kelechi shouted, holding out his plastic bowl. She smiled and dished them generous portions, adding an extra piece of meat. Tell your mother I said God bless her, she said. They ran off, laughing and kicking stone along the dusty path. By evening, once reached the market, the two boys were sick, vomiting, running stomach, weakness. Their mother rushed them to the health center. Food poison, the nurses said. Mama Nkechi was shocked when she heard it. No, it can't be my food, she whispered. I used fresh meat. I even washed the pot twice. She sat in silence, staring at that red pot. Chuka came and stood beside her. Don't jump to blame yourself, he said. Maybe it was something else. Maybe they drank bad water. But the worry had already rooted itself inside her. She didn't sleep that night. The next 2 days were tense. Two more customers complained of sharp stomach pain after eating the yam porridge. One of them was a pregnant woman. "I know your food, Mama Nkechi. I've been eating it for years, but something has changed," she said gently. Mama Nkechi checked everything: the onions, the oil, the pepper. Nothing smelled strange. Nothing looked expired. Still, she threw away all her ingredients and bought new ones. "I can't risk lives," she told Chuka, "even if it means I sell at loss." Chuka watched her closely. His face looked calm, but his eyes seemed troubled. "Nkechi," he said one evening, "have you checked the pot itself?" She looked at the red pot, her trusted companion for over a decade. It was slightly worn, the handle chipped, the bottom black from years of fire, but it was strong. It was faithful. She ran a finger across the surface. A small crack ran near the edge, almost visible. "I've cooked with this pot for 10 years," she said. "It has never betrayed me. But maybe it's tired," Chuka replied. That night, Mama Nkechi had a dream. She stood alone in the market, and the red pot was on fire. Real fire. Flames danced high into the sky. She tried to run to it, to lift it, to save it, but it burnt her hand. She looked around, calling for help, but no one came. When she woke up, sweat covered her face. Her heart pounded. The smell of smoke seemed to hang in the air. She got up, walked outside, and sat beside the pot. "Are you hurting people?" she whispered. There was no answer, only silence, deep and still. It was a Sunday. The church bell rang in the distance, and Uvuru market buzzed softly. Mama Nkechi was tired but peaceful. She had cooked a big pot of egusi soup the night before, planning to serve it after service. By noon, people began to line up. The smell alone made mouth water. They sat under umbrella and waited, laughing and talking as Mama Nkechi served each plate with love. Chuka stood beside her, smiling faintly. "You've done well, Nkechi," he said. She smiled back. "You too, Chuka. Thank you." But something felt off. A tightness in his chest, a strange coldness in the air. By 3 p.m., screams echoed from the edge of the market. A young girl collapsed. Then a man, who had just finished his plate, fell to his knees, groaning in pain. Panic spread fast. Within an hour, 6 people were on ground, vomiting, holding their stomachs, eyes rolling. Mama Nkechi's food. That red pot again. It's the food. It's poisoned. Mama Nkechi stood frozen. Her hands trembled. "No, no, no. I cooked it myself. The same way I always cooked others. I tested it. It was fine." Chuka rushed forward to calm the crowd. But then, a woman pointed at him. You were the one. You were the one stirring the pot this morning. When I passed, you were adding something." Everyone turned. "What?" Mama Nkechi asked, stepping back. "What did you say?" Chuka's face changed. His eyes lost their kindness. He dropped the spoon he was holding and began to walk away. "Chuka!" Mama Nkechi shouted, but he didn't stop. Ebuka, who had returned home on a short notice, called by a worried neighbor, arrived just in time to see the commotion. He rushed to his mother. "Mama, what is going on?" "They said the food was poisoned," she whispered. "But I cooked it. I cooked it myself, with love." Ebuka looked around. Then he took off, running in the direction Chuka went. They caught Chuka at the old railway behind the village. He didn't fight. He didn't shout. He simply sat down, as if tired of everything. I didn't mean for it to go this far, he said. Ebuka stood over him. Why? My mother took you in. She trusted you. Chuka looked up with empty eyes. I didn't come to help her. I came to destroy her. I was paid. A man from the city, her late husband's brother, he said. She disgraced their family, that she made them look small. He offered me money to make her food business fail quietly. So I started small, just a little powder in the pot, a bitter root, something to cause stomach ache. He sighed. But then, she was so kind. She forgave me before I even asked. She treated me like human again. She shook his head slowly. But I had already gone too far. And when I saw her smile, when I saw Ebuka get into a university, I hated myself. But I couldn't stop. He looked at Ebuka, eyes full of something broken. She is the best woman I have ever known. I destroyed the one light I had. That night, the hospital confirmed that one of the victims, a young mother, had died. Mama Nkechi was arrested. They took her away in handcuffs, her head bowed, her apron still wet with stew. The market wept. People whispered. She would never do such thing. She fed us for free when we had nothing. It can't be true. But the law didn't know love. It only saw poison. Chuka confessed the full truth at the police station. He named names. He showed proof. But it was too late. A life had been lost. Ebuka tried everything to clear her name. He cried in front of lawyers, begged the elders. He told every news reporter, "My mother is not a killer. She is a giver." Her pot was full of stories, not poison. But the system was slow. The pain was fast. After weeks in custody, Mama Nkechi sat in a prison uniform, looking tired. Ebuka came to visit. He brought her a Bible and a piece of her favorite wrapper. They sat across from each other, hand pressed against the glass. "I am sorry, Mama," Ebuka said, tears streaming down. She smiled weakly. "My son, I didn't live to see you graduate, but I lived to raise a good man." "No, no, Mama, you will not die. You will come out, I promise. I will fight until they know the truth." She looked at him with love too deep for words. "Promise me one thing," she said. "When you are grown, when you marry, when you have your own children, cook for them with the same heart I used." He nodded. She placed her palm against the glass. He placed his over it. Years later, Ebuka became a lawyer. He built a small food foundation in Uvuru, Mama Nkechi's spot, to feed children for free. He visits her grave every year. Yes, she died in custody before her name was officially cleared, but the town cleared it in their hearts. On the tombstone, it reads, "Mama Nkechi, she fed the people, she forgave the unforgivable, and she left a thirst that will never die." How do you defend yourself when people closest to you turn away? And what happens when the truth is no longer enough to save you? Life isn't always fair, and sometimes the truth gets buried. But no matter what, don't let the world silence your story. Stay strong, stay kind, and never stop believing in yourself. If this story touched you, Give it a thumbs up. Share your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe for more emotional and powerful stories. Click the bell icon so you know when another story drops on this channel. Thank you for watching. Bye. Bye.